Okay, so today we are going to revisit our table that we use to count up number of protons, neutrons, and electrons, but you'll notice that we've added a couple of columns. We've added a column for charge, and we've added a column to identify if we have an ion or an atom. Okay, so you should have your periodic tables. If you don't have them, pause the video, get them out, so you can make sure that you're working along, and also pause the video, write down this table so that you're not just watching the video, you're taking notes, filling it in as you go. Okay? Ready to go? So we talked about, in our last video, about the fact that ions, because they're either gaining or losing one or more electrons, have a charge. Okay? In the past, we talked about the mass number is the number of protons plus neutrons. Atomic number is just the number of protons, which, if you remember, is equal to the number of electrons. So let's see if we can figure some of these things out, okay? And use our new knowledge of ions to do that. So, if we look at this top problem, we have an element with 17 protons, 18 neutrons, and 18 electrons. Okay? Notice that I didn't say that the atomic number is always equal to the number of electrons, because if we have an ion, it's not equal. Notice in this case our protons and electrons aren't equal, so that ought to clue us off right now that we are looking at an ion in our first example. Okay, so let's see if we can figure this out. Number of protons, if we look at our periodic table, find element number 17. Let's see, element number 17 is chlorine. So just like we have in the past, we're going to put chlorine in here. And we have to include the hyphen notation, so we need to know the mass number. Chlorine, the mass number is the number of protons plus neutrons, so 17 plus 18, this is going to be chlorine 35. So we've answered two questions right there. We've got the hyphen notation and the mass number. Okay? We also can plug in the atomic number here, 17, because that's the number of protons. Nuclei symbol is going to be the same as it always has, because the nuclei symbol has never included the number of electrons, just the number of the mass number and the atomic number. So the nuclei symbol is going to be Cl, mass number on top, atomic number on bottom. Now we have to figure out that last piece, the charge. Okay? And remember, we've got 18 electrons, 17 protons. So we need to do a little bit of math. We have 18 electrons, what that makes us have negative 18, 17 protons, which gives us an overall -1 charge. Okay? Not too bad, right? So let's look at example number 2. This one tells us we have 12 protons, 12 neutrons, and it also tells us we have no charge, 0 charge. So we can fill this out right here. If it's 0 charge, we know we have an atom. 12 protons tells us that we have magnesium. Mass number, protons plus neutrons. Oh, and we can fill this in right here. Atomic number, same as the number of protons. Since it's an atom, our protons and electrons are equal. Nuclei symbol, hopefully by now, this is a piece of cake. Except for the ion ones, those may still be a little bit of work. All right, this example, again, we can see over there, we've got a charge in the box. We've got a +2 charge, so we've got to think about this. We have a mass number of 41, an atomic number of 20. So let's start with what we can figure out. Atomic number of 20 tells us, if we look on our periodic table, element number 20, we've got calcium. All right, so we're going to write down calcium, hyphen, we want the mass number here, so calcium 41. What else can we figure out? We know that the atomic number is equal to the number of protons, so this is 20. We can figure out the number of neutrons because that's always going to be the mass number minus the number of protons, 21. Now we have to figure out the number of electrons. Okay, so this one might be a little bit tricky. We have to think about this. We've got 20 protons and we've got a +2 charge, which means that we have to have 2 more positive protons than we have electrons. Okay? Does that make sense? How many electrons are we going to have? 18, right? Because we've got to have 2 more positives than negatives. Got it? Okay. And then our nuclei symbol, maybe Ca, 41, mass number over atomic number. And since this has a charge, this one is an ion. All right, last one. Rubidium 86. Let's see, how will we figure out where rubidium is? We can look it up. But we've got a clue. It's got 36 protons. That means, ooh, I made a mistake. Let's make this 37 protons. Should be 36. Okay, 37 protons. Sorry. 37 protons because it's got an atomic number of 37. Okay. The mass number we know is 86. Neutrons is going to be 86 minus 37. So let's do that math. If you've got a calculator, you'll have it done before I do. 49, right? Now to figure out, we can do the nuclei symbol. That would be Rb, the symbol for rubidium. With what on top? Mass number on top, 86. And what goes on the bottom? The atomic number, right? Atomic number goes on the bottom, 37. Now we need to figure out the charge. So we've got to compare our number of protons with our number of electrons. We have 37 protons for a plus 37, 36 electrons for a minus 36. So we've got 1 more positive than we have negative, so our charge is going to be +1. Okay? So since it's got a charge, this is going to be an ion. Okay? You will have some practice of this in homework, but hopefully going through this together real quick has helped you look at how protons and electrons, how we can manipulate those and figure out whether we have an ion or an atom, and how we look at the charge. See you later.